Antes de comenzar el video, me gustaría recomendarles la página de APOYA.com, donde podrán encontrar gemas al mejor precio. Pero no solamente eso, sino con mi cupón podrán obtener un 3% de descuento. Así que el link se los dejo en la descripción para poder comprar de forma fácil y segura.
And it is not ending games every time, and I think that's something worth talking about.
I agree. I think this is a big game, maybe a prove-it game for Camazot's Belt Slap versus Papis. Game 1 about to kick off. Can the Papis dethrone Belt Slap from the top of the EU SCC? We'll have to wait and find out in game number 1. And kind of immediately, I look at the Papis draft between a Kali and a Freya, though Freya is certainly not weak in the early game.
Chekio back, so he used beads preemptively. So that's at least a slight win for Belt Slap. I think they can punish that.
That's a good banish onto Arco, and actually Warchi's gonna pop the ultimate and hits the shot. See you later, Arco. Kronos rewinds back to base first blood. Oh, two gods that are sort of in and out. You have an RDO, Creed piloting that one, then a Guan Yu there for Julio. What does that matchup look like for you?
It looks like he's getting ganked on the right-hand side, and Creed is going to get cut down easily with some help from Trix Tank. That lane is going to be a lot of that. Only ganks are going to matter.
Well, Johnny is going to get stunned down. Ultimate out from Chekio, who's rotated through from the mid lane, but does not result in much except a couple half-health members of who has a kill under his belt. What's his role in a lot of these fights? I mean, obviously, big presence in these big team engagements that we'll see. We'll be back to that in just a second. Draco Marino stunned down. Dharmic Pillars drop, and here is Julio. That's the role he wants to play. Round the backside, get the kill on a Draco Marino. Chekio beneath his tier 1 tower, but I'm not sure he'll be able to find safety. Julio, the rotation, that's good for a double. 3 kills on the board for this Guan Yu, but the action's not over just yet. Marcus puts the DOT on Johnny, and he finds death as well. So Marcus on this Kali now has found a kill, but he is slightly in range of Zeros, who shuts him down for kill number 5 for Belt Slap.
And he lost the beads as well. That's not a great spot for Marcus now, because he's going to be fairly vulnerable for a pretty good period of time. I mean, off his cooldowns is so impactful for Guan Yu. I love Genjis on a couple different gods, and Guan is one of them.
Arco has been banished, and down he falls, but now has rewound himself back to full health. Warchi back down to earth as Johnny will swoop through like a bat out of hell, and the Dharmic Pillars there just to buy some zone. Draco Marino stuck inside that fighting ring, and Arco snags himself a kill as well. Great rotations from Belt Slap, result in 2 more.
This is what we're talking about when it comes that he gets. And Merlin is the objective DPS king. I mean, he just scorches objectives with his fire 2-1. But you're right, no real secure, so it's going to be up to fighting beforehand to buy enough space to make sure that the objectives will go their way.
That looks like maybe what we have on hand here. 4 members of Belt Slap immediately ready. Good pull in there by Zeros. Dharmic Pillar is going to chunk some damage out onto Warchi, who takes to the skies as well. 2 low health members in the backline, and Arco shuts them down. That's another one on the board for this Kronos. Creed stunned down. Could be an extra as Arco has a double. Marcus has fallen to Johnny in the meantime. Suddenly 2 members of the Papis last left alive. This could be the Fury fight that Belt Slap wanted.
Man, I mean, you think back just a couple minutes ago where Arco gets soloed for first blood. You're thinking Warchi's going to be popping off this game, and ever since Belt Slap has gone, don't worry, Kenny, we got your back here. We're going to come over. We're going to make sure that you're nice and safe and sound. Starts out 0-1.
Was always a get-out-of-jail-free card, or most of the time at least, and used this time. So I guess if there's a small silver lining, the Papis were able to snag that Camazot's ultimate, but I'm not sure they're going to be able to hold on to that one. Arco's going to pop his ultimate as well. Johnny's still here ready to fight. Valkyrie's discretion for Warchi is going to plug down some damage, but that's not a 1v1 you're looking to take if you're this Freya. Arco, with 4 kills in his back pocket, will likely win that one. But I think smart game sense there from Belt Slap. They're going to back off instead of trying to further press the issue. Fight still could be on. Dharmic Pillars is going to plug away just a little damage now at the Papis, and Marcus is going to leap out. Not before Warchi is stunned down, though. Big 3-man silence. Marcus chopping away, has that hastened katana, so he's going to stick right onto Arkle. Does he have enough damage?
No.
No, he doesn't. Arkle turns around the moment that ultimate times out, grabs his 5th kill of the game. Now Draco Marino is looking like he could be next on the menu. That's the block onto Johnny, so Warchi has found the kill. Trickstank goes down, suddenly a double kill for the Freya. And what a turn of the table from that solo lane. So immediate numbers advantage. Creed will begin his rotation back through. Chekio has to burn the ultimate, but he got deleted. Johnny in there to save or help out, rather, his solo laner, and Marcus back beneath his tier 2 tower. So the immediate presence of a solo laner making a big difference.
Love it. Julio didn't really need the help there. Johnny came in to kill secure, of course, is the term we're going to use around here. But Julio had that one on lock, just as Zeros has Draco on lock.
I don't know, Ico. This one seems to be spiraling a bit out of control. A small moment of brightness maybe for the Papis with a double kill for Warchi in the long lane, but
attempt by Belt Slap. I mean, they have a 5v3, now a 5v4, but Chekio's ultimate is still down. He's got a long way to walk. We already talked about how good the burn is for Belt Slap.
50% on the Fire Giant, but Belt Slap instead are going to turn their attention towards Creed, and Johnny knocks him down. Dharmic Pillars buy some good zone, takes down some damage. Marcus forced to use the beads. Julio's on the chase, and Chekio back from respawn is going to try to find some damage, but the second kill in this fight for Johnny goes on to Warchi, and I think that's another opening for Belt Slap to turn around and start up the fire.
No ultimates really. I mean, it's only Arkle that has his. Draco's here and might try and just make the hero play, but look at the DPS. Belt Slap already has it.
And that's brilliant. No objective is safe until it is immediately cleaned up by the team that has started it. So smart plays there by Belt Slap to burn, lock down, and secure. And they might even find an extra kill here onto Chekio, who's a bit overextended by the red buff.
He's dead. I mean, Julio is just playing such a good game on this Guan Yu, and this is the type of thing that I love about MOBAs, is the pick by Belt Slap, and it's worked to perfection.
I've loved the rotations from Julio as well, realizing where his strengths are and rejoining these fights, and a fight could be brewing here as Julio pops up onto the horse and is going to find Warchi in the back line. Arkle's found some damage, but not enough to get rid of Warchi just yet. No Valkyrie's discretion burned just a moment ago, so Belt Slap could find an opening to get into the back line. Johnny is effectively soloed Chekio for the second time in the last 5 minutes underneath the mid-tier 2 tower. Now he's waiting in the wings, maybe for a potential rotation through, but instead it's just going to be waiting for those mid lane minions to crash. The left side Phoenix has fallen in the meantime, and there's still 30 seconds left of a disadvantage for the Papis.
Julio still so tanky. He's going to get that ultimate back fairly soon, even though it's down right now. He shreds Draco and opens up the Phoenix Siege for Belt Slap.
That's a good double stun from Marcus, but I'm not sure exactly what the Papis need to get them back into this game. He'll fall, and it's the F6s that do the ending at the end of the day. 23 minutes in, Belt Slap convinced
that
way
slot.
right now.
I mean, the cripple is good here. It affects every single player on Belt Slap. Cupid's biggest problem is that even when the ultimate looks really good, the enemy support buys Heavenly Wings, and they use it whenever you ult, and it doesn't do anything. That's the biggest problem. I'd expect this Cupid to do some good things here, but I don't know, man. Cupid always looks good, I feel like. It just never really comes to pass.
Well, it's another god that has another prove-it opportunity here in game number 2. After disappointing game 1, the Papis will look to bounce back up against Belt Slap, and no Heavenly Wings just yet for Trickstank. Actually, early aggression here by the Gold Fury. Arkle has taken some early plug damage, but turns around some poke onto Warchi. But Johnny, talk about early game on that Kamazotz, is on the chase. Warchi is going to be able to escape just a little bit, but just needs one more attack. Johnny has already used that ability, so it's back on cooldown now, and he's going to turn around for a little bit more. This is getting messy early on, Aggro.
A little bit, but at the end of the day, Warchi's still alive, which did not look guaranteed for a little bit there. I mean, Arkle, beyond, you can abduct the tank, immediately Fields of Love heart bomb them, and have some pretty good success.
Johnny is going to try for round 2 in the long lane. Gank has plugged some damage. Warchi will dash away, but Johnny's got a dash of his own. Lands onto the Cupid. Draco Marino body blocked out. See you later, says Arkle. 2 kills, 2 minutes in. Belt Slap off to a roaring start.
And that's what you really want to see around Arkell in particular on the Uller is getting...
It's not a massive lead, but Cerberus has had a tough time staying healthy and really out in the middle of that lane early into this game.
I do like the Cerberus matchup here at least a little bit, though it is very easy to interrupt that flame breath as Arkell looking for Warchi, gets his beads, and still nearly kills him throughout all that damage. In fact, I think Johnny might have him here with the blink over the wall.
And he blinks through and connects on all he needs to. Johnny slam dunks the setup from Arkell. And the rotations in this early game to this long lane have paid off in dividends for Belt Slap.
If he's in bow stance, you know you've got time to get damage off before he's going to be able to jump away. All Warchi really needs is a little bit of damage and setup from Marcus to where that Heart Bomb is going to do 20% or so of Arkell's HP by itself. So Marcus doesn't need to do that much more damage overall. That's easy enough for Thor to do,
right.
60% of someone's life bar, even through purification beads. It's just that this is good warding by Belt Slap. They're not getting an opportunity.
Oh, Warchi caught out, and he dashes back towards the Belt Slap tower. Trix Tank will plug away a final few shots. Warchi will sustain himself, but that only goes so far, and a couple feet further is about that distance as Arkell has gotten the second kill of the game. I think interesting note, though, Aggro, is Trix Tank has hung around in this long lane a little bit longer, whereas Draco Marino has kind of left, and now it's resulted in a couple of kills.
It's just, if it's not going to be Johnny coming over to kill Warchi, it's going to be Trix Tank, and that's kind of what teams have done, or what Belt Slap, has done to other teams so far this year is we're just going to set up Arkell to carry us, and he's probably going to do it.
Oh, poor Draco Marino, caught between a rock and a hard place, will be able to use the ult and dash himself out. Spear to the 9 wins from Chekio, soars on through, and maybe gets a little bit of damage, but instead it's a killing spree now for Johnny, as the final swoop of the Bat Out of Hell locks down Draco Marino. 3 kills on the Belt Slap jungler.
In 23 minutes, I believe, so we're about on pace for that.
Absolutely, and I love a small moment there while we're chatting. Some good deep wards from Belt Slap keep Arkell safe enough to realize that Marcus is maybe rotating around for a bit of a gank, and instead it's Belt Slap who will bring the aggression. Warchi dashes in, finds the delete onto Arkell, had the Khepri ult, but smartly played by Johnny to let that one time out. Chekio in range, and will find some good damage onto Johnny as well. Suddenly the Papis have found themselves a 2-for-1 trade.
I love that play from Warchi, going aggressive, knowing that Arkell left the purification beads. But all of that fight goes well, exclusively because the Arkell is at a really strong point in his build, nearly finished with his Transcendence, working towards that Executioner. Warchi just isn't nearly as strong. He's not even close on that Transcendence finish yet.
Chekio forced to burn the Aegis there to stay alive. Does not have Spear to the 9 wins either, so that was just used a moment ago. Marcus has found Johnny, potentially unfortunately, back in the jungle. Snags the Khepri ult.
Close.
Just nearly timed properly by Johnny. Doesn't matter as Julio has found the kill. Zeros snags the second in this engagement for Belt Slap. A decent ultimate, though, is going to pull a couple members back in, and Warchi is able to pull back a kill. Trix Tank down into the passive, and Warchi is going to snag a double kill. Suddenly another fight, despite it being a 2-for-2. The Papis are finding some advantages.
They're getting something, and Johnny takes another spill. Except for everyone who trolled me on my Twitter poll a while ago, and I'm still salty about it.
Belt Slap maybe trading Pyromancer for Fury here. Blink through from Trix Tank has found the double mez. Papis do finish off the Oni Fury. Marcus takes to the skies. Anvil of Dawn looking for a target, and it's Johnny. Hey, you've got no beads, but you do have a Bat Out of Hell, and he'll swoop through with a sliver of HP. So well targeted by Marcus, but unable to find the execute. Julio is in, gets stunned down. Fields of Loves will drop down onto that tier. This is a messy fight over by the mid lane Harpies, and a good pull back from Creed will send a couple low health members of Belt Slap right back into the fray. Draco Marino's found a good target for his ultimate and saved the life of one, and Julio overstays and just a little bit too low. Zeros burns the Aegis. Now he's gonna go down. Suddenly it's 6 kills on the board for the Papis. Arkell burns the actives. He might be able to get out alive here, but Warchi has some relics of his own as well. A couple more plug shots will do it. Johnny right back in the back line. Aggro, it's 3 versus 3 here on the side. And that might just be the disengage until Chekio finds a final kill.
What in the world was that? I mean, that was a whole lot of abilities being fired off in the middle of nowhere. I mean, everyone just slamming their buttons left and right. And I don't even know who comes out on top, Dave. I got lost halfway through all that. I mean, the Papis get the gold Fury, and take a look at the gold lead. They are back in a pretty healthy position, unlike Johnny, who decided that he wasn't done throwing buttons all over the place without a whole lot of thought and gets insta-killed by Warchi. I mean, this is how you get back into it. You just brawl. In the jungle, Chekio's low on mana, but might have enough for ult soon.
Looks like we're magical Christmas lands. The Papis are they're here in Jingle Belt as they have pulled this lead right back to even. Not only kills, but gold as well, a 200 differential.
Because your 5-on-5 is going to be very strong. You've got a lot of great ultimates to use in the 5-on-5. Now it's a matter of communication. One ultimate has to get beads, the other has to punish it. You can't overlap. You really have to use that Stygian Torment and Fields of Love one after the other.
And he uses Fields of Love here, but Marcus will dunk down. Anvil of Dawn will not be able to connect onto the Bat Out of Hell from Johnny. Brilliant Aegis usage for Warchi, but only just for a second, because Johnny saved that leap for the last moment, was able to snag the kill onto Cupid. So now you've got a numbers advantage here. If you're Belt Slap, another sloppy fight. Oh, massive from Julio will knock back 3 into the awaiting arms of Belt Slap, but no kills come of it just yet. Draco Marino is low and might have to use the ultimate on himself, and instead headed to the grave with the ultimate still off of cooldown. What a play. Julio on the rotation. Easy as you like for Belt Slap.
Man, that is... When you're talking about some fearless power cleave action, that's what you're looking for. They could try it.
He is back and respawning, him being Warchi, and his Fire Giant started up here aggro. Belt Slap have it, down to about half health. Creed is in range. The burn damage plenty from Zeros. Creed in range. Belt Slap secure the FG though. A big lead pulled back now by Belt Slap. Chekio still under duress in the mid lane. Has both actives if need be. Creed does not have any that'll save his life, so Belt Slap snag the Fire Giant and get a kill, and suddenly things looking dire one more time from the Papis.
Nice wall from Marcus is going to block off Trix Tank so he can't CC Draco. And that's what you're hoping.
The right side tier 2 tower under duress if you're looking at it from Belt Slap's perspective, and likely going to get taken down here. Arkel's going to plug plenty of damage through, and that's always the cascade, but hold on. Creed has found a kill onto Johnny in the backline. Marcus there to assist as well. It's a 5 versus 4 unless Marcus is able to get out alive, and the scales are tilted right back to even. Nice double pull from Zeros is going to lock down a couple members of the Papis here, and Creed is going to have to leap out. Draco Marino down from the epic uppercut. Arkel's there waiting for the second kill of this fight for Belt Slap, and Chekio burns the Aegis to stay alive, but will swoop himself away, and a double kill from Arkel might just put the icing on this cake. Zeros is there as well, and Deicide maybe around the corner. Creed locked down, see you later. Arkel gets a triple, and it's a Deicide for Belt Slap.
Man, that's the dream start for the Papis. Okay, we killed Johnny right off the bat. He's been a problem for us all game. Let's take the team fight, or maybe we shouldn't, because Arkil is just free casting. That should be game, as Arkil maybe a little bit more excited. It went straight for Titan when all 3 Phoenixes were still up. But yeah, you don't give Kenny Uller, man. I mean, I don't know how many times you got to learn this lesson, old man, but you don't give this man Uller